Wondered why the universe seems to place certain people in your path, people who ignite something profound within you, yet remain impossibly out of reach? Why do we encounter souls that feel like missing pieces of ourselves, only to discover that being together is not their purpose in our lives? Carl Jung, the pioneering psychologist who mapped the depths of the human psyche, would tell you that these encounters are not cruel tricks of fate, but rather sacred appointments with your own becoming. There exists a love that doesn't seek to possess, but to transform. A love that doesn't aim to complete you, but to reveal what was always whole within you. This is the love that breaks you open, not to destroy you, but to allow the light you've been carrying in darkness to finally shine. When someone enters your life with this transformative power, they bring with them a force that cannot be contained within the conventional boundaries of relationship. They arrive like lightning, illuminating landscapes within you that you never knew existed, showing you versions of yourself that were waiting to be discovered. This person doesn't fit neatly into your life because they weren't meant to. They slip through your carefully constructed defenses, not to make themselves at home there, but to show you how many walls you've built and how little they actually protect you. Their presence reveals the gap between who you've been and who you're capable of becoming. They love you not for your perfection, but for your potential. They see through your masks, not to expose your flaws, but to witness the magnificence you've been hiding from yourself. When you meet someone like this, your entire world shifts. Colors seem more vivid, music carries deeper meaning, and ordinary moments become infused with significance. You find yourself changing in ways that feel both thrilling and terrifying. Old patterns that once felt comfortable now feel constraining. Dreams you'd long forgotten suddenly seem possible again. You begin to question everything about how you've been living, not because they tell you to, but because their very presence awakens a knowing within you that there is so much more available to you than you've been allowing yourself to experience. But here's what makes this love so challenging and so sacred. It cannot be reduced to possession. You cannot capture lightning in a jar and expect it to continue illuminating your world. This person has come to awaken something in you, not to become your security blanket or your escape from the work of becoming yourself. They are not yours to keep. And recognizing this truth, while painful, is the beginning of understanding the real gift they bring. The intensity of connection you feel with this person serves as a mirror, reflecting back to you aspects of yourself that have been waiting in the shadows of your consciousness. Jung understood that we are inevitably drawn to people who carry parts of our own psyche that we have not yet integrated. This person who captivates you so completely is showing you facets of your own soul that you have been seeking outside yourself. The qualities that attract you to them, the way they move through the world, their courage, their creativity, their capacity for depth. These are not foreign to you. They are echoes of your own untapped potential. When you find yourself saying, "I've never met anyone like them," what you're really recognizing is that you've never met these parts of yourself so clearly reflected in another person. They become a living demonstration of possibilities that exist within you. The magnetic pull you feel toward them is actually your soul recognizing itself, calling you home to aspects of your being that have been dormant or denied. This is why the connection feels so familiar, so much like coming home, even when you've just met. You're not encountering a stranger, you're encountering yourself, wearing a different face. The pain of not being able to be with this person in the way you initially desire serves a crucial purpose. It forces you to turn inward, to stop looking for completion outside yourself and start discovering the fullness that already exists within you. If you could simply have this person, make them yours, settle into the comfort of conventional relationship with them, you might never discover that what you were seeking in them was actually seeking expression through you. The impossibility of the situation is not a punishment, it's a redirection toward the real work that needs to be done. This mirror they provide is not meant to make you dependent on seeing yourself reflected in them. Instead, it's meant to help you recognize these qualities so clearly that you can begin to embody them yourself. They show you your own capacity for depth so that you can dive deeper into your own inner world. They demonstrate your own potential for courage, so that you can take the risks necessary for your own growth. They reflect your own beauty, so that you can stop hiding behind self-doubt and shame. The relationship becomes a catalyst for individuation, Jung's term for the lifelong process of becoming who you truly are. This person doesn't complete you because you were never incomplete. They reveal you to yourself because you were always whole, just unconscious of your own wholeness. The love you feel for them is actually love for the parts of yourself you're meeting through them. The longing you experience is your soul's desire to reclaim these projected aspects and integrate them into your conscious life. Understanding this doesn't diminish the significance of what you feel for this person. If anything, it elevates it beyond the realm of ordinary attachment into something sacred. They have served as a bridge between you and yourself, a guide leading you back to forgotten territories of your own being. The love remains real, transformative, and profound, but its purpose becomes clear. It's not meant to bind you together in conventional ways. It's meant to free you both to become more fully yourselves. The real task is not winning this person's love or finding a way to make the impossible possible. The real task is becoming the person who no longer needs to seek outside themselves what can only be found within. This doesn't mean closing your heart or becoming cynical about love. It means opening your heart so fully to yourself that you stop abandoning yourself in pursuit of others. It means loving yourself so completely that you no longer need someone else to validate your worth or complete your identity. When someone significant enters your life and shows you new possibilities for who you can be, they are offering you the greatest gift imaginable, a glimpse of your own potential. But this gift comes with a responsibility. You must take what they've shown you and make it real in your own life. You must stop waiting for permission to be magnificent and start giving yourself that permission. You must stop looking for someone else to bring out the best in you and start bringing out the best in yourself. This process requires you to face parts of yourself you may have been avoiding. If this person showed you your capacity for vulnerability, you must learn to be vulnerable without them. If they revealed your creative potential, you must begin creating without their inspiration. If they demonstrated your ability to love deeply, you must learn to direct that love toward yourself and the world around you. The work of becoming yourself cannot be outsourced to another person, no matter how extraordinary they are. The journey of individuation that Jung described is ultimately a solitary one, not because you must be alone, but because no one else can do the work of becoming you except you. Others can serve as mirrors, catalysts, and guides, but the actual transformation must happen within your own psyche, through your own choices, by your own commitment to growth. This person, who cannot be yours in the conventional sense, has given you something far more valuable. They've shown you who you can become. As you begin to embody the qualities you admired in them, something remarkable happens. The desperate need to possess them begins to transform into gratitude for what they've given you. The pain of not having them evolves into appreciation for having met them. You start to understand that keeping them would have been a smaller gift than what you actually received. They were never meant to be your destination. They were meant to be your awakening. This shift doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without grief. You must mourn the relationship that never was, the future you imagined, the version of love you thought you wanted. But underneath that grief, if you're willing to feel deeply enough, you'll find something else: excitement about who you're becoming, anticipation about what's possible for your life, and a growing sense of your own wholeness that no longer depends on external validation. The person who came to awaken you has fulfilled their purpose not when they stay with you, but when you no longer need them to stay in order to remain awake. They came to turn on lights within you that had been switched off, to remind you of your own power, to show you what love looks like when it's not based on need but on recognition of the divine in another person. Once those lights are on, once you remember your power, once you can love from fullness rather than emptiness, their work in your life is complete. This doesn't mean they disappear or become insignificant. It means the relationship transforms into something beyond the personal, beyond possession, beyond the small self's desires for security and ownership. It becomes a sacred bond between two souls who have seen the divine in each other and use that recognition to remember the divine within themselves. You may remain friends, you may drift apart, you may love each other from a distance for the rest of your lives. The form becomes less important than the function they served in your becoming. Some people enter our lives to stay, to build something together, to create shared meaning through partnership and commitment. Others come to awaken us to our own possibilities and then step back so we can explore those possibilities fully. Neither type of connection is more valuable than the other, but they serve different purposes in the grand design of our evolution as conscious beings. The person you cannot be with has served perhaps the most important function anyone can serve in another's life. They have helped you remember who you truly are. Jung believed that every person we encounter who stirs something significant within us is connected to our individuation process. These are not random meetings or cosmic accidents. They are precisely orchestrated encounters designed to facilitate our psychological and spiritual development. The person who breaks your heart open may be the same person who helps you discover that your heart is far more resilient and capable of love than you ever imagined. The one who shows you new possibilities for your life may be the catalyst you needed to stop settling for less than what's truly available to you. When you understand this, when you really grasp that this person came not to complete you, but to awaken you, something profound shifts in how you relate to the experience. The story changes from one of loss and impossibility to one of gift and transformation. You begin to see that what felt like the universe being cruel was actually the universe being incredibly generous. You were given exactly what you needed, precisely when you needed it, in the exact form that would be most effective for your growth. This perspective doesn't eliminate the pain of not being able to be with someone who has touched your soul so deeply, but it places that pain within a larger context of meaning and purpose. The pain becomes a doorway rather than a dead end. It becomes the price of admission to a more authentic version of yourself, rather than simply the cost of loving someone you cannot have. Every moment of longing becomes an invitation to explore what you're really longing for. Every wave of missing them becomes an opportunity to discover what parts of yourself you've been missing. The love that awakens you is ultimately love calling you home to yourself. The person who cannot be yours is life's way of ensuring that you become yours completely. In a world that constantly encourages us to seek fulfillment outside ourselves, these impossible loves serve as course corrections, redirecting our attention back to the only place where lasting peace and wholeness can be found, within our own being, through our own commitment to becoming who we